Safety signs, meaning of their color and shape. Safety signs can provide information about hazards and resources which exist within a specific working environment. Through the use of color and symbols, the signs are able to make workers aware of hazards or any safety measures that are contained within the environment. So what we're going to do is take a look at some of the categories of safety signs based on their color and shape. And the first one we'll look at is the green category, okay, which relates specifically to safety and might be rectangular or squarish in shape. This highlights to individuals areas and equipment related to safety, such as emergency exits and first aid resources. Green signs are meant to draw people to a location in the event of an emergency. So, if an emergency situation does have it, you're kind of looking for green. That's an area to go to for those support resources that might be in the form of first aid or to get out of the building because there is a danger within the building. The next category is a category that might cause danger, and that's related to fire. And this is the red category and could be in two forms of shapes. Could be in the form of a diamond if it's a flammable object and capable of combustion and starting a burn. But it could also be in the form of a square which could be fire safety, and that might be highlighting where a fire hydrant is or a fire blanket. So basically, fire hazards are associated with materials and equipment that relate to fire, as we're saying. And so you're looking for those different shapes to distinguish between is it a fire danger or is it to support me in the instance of a fire, indicating fire safety if it is rectangular in shape of it, so I can find that extinguisher to put out the fire that's going on. The next category we'll look at after that is the blue category, which is the obey mandatory category and is usually in the shape of a circle. Okay, this highlights to workers the requirement of mandatory PPE, personal protective equipment, to be worn within environments. So these signs may suggest and indicate through their symbols the requirement to wear goggles, earmuffs, masks, helmets within the working environment so that workers are protected when going into that environment based on the hazards that exist within that environment. From here, we have the yellow category, which is the warning category, and this is usually in the shape of a triangle. All right, and this signifies specific hazards through its symbols. So, yellow signs warn of a hazard which exists within an environment. Different symbols on the sign are used to indicate hazards such as electrical, chemical, mechanical, as well as a whole range of other hazards that exist within the environment, so that when an individual enters the environment, they're aware of that hazard. So here we have the exclamation mark, and that seems pretty general, and that can be used to highlight a mechanical hazard that's within the environment. But you might see things such as the chemical symbol or the radioactive symbol or an electrical thunderbolt symbol, and they specify the specific hazard that's in that environment so that the workers are aware. From here, then we also have the stop or prohibition symbol. Now, this one is not necessarily one color, it's actually three colors always put together. It's always red, white, and black, and it's the circle crossing out a specific symbol. And as you can see here, it's crossing out a person, which usually means no entry. So, prohibition signs indicate that individuals, specific equipment, or materials should not enter the environment. Symbols on these signs might include a person, a mobile phone, a cigarette, a turning direction, or electric fence. Okay, and it's telling people either don't go into the environment themselves or don't bring into environment something that could cause danger. So therefore, a cigarette shouldn't be in an environment where there are flammable objects around, and that's why there might be a prohibition sign with a cigarette in it saying no cigarettes. Mobile phones might interfere with certain technology in their transmitting equipment. So you'll see environments that have a mobile phone with a red line going through it saying don't bring your mobile phone in the environment because it could lead to the monitoring equipment malfunctioning. So that's the purpose of prohibition equipment. You see them on the road too when there's a no right turn. Okay, you'll see just a line pointing right. Okay, and a line going through it indicating don't go down that way because it's one-way traffic. You're going to get in trouble there. So they keep us out of trouble by telling don't do this, don't go into the environment or don't bring these objects into the environment. The last thing that I'll just touch on, because they're the main colors we're looking at here today, some other symbols that highlight certain things. So we've got some other shapes around. So you might see the upside down triangle. That is also a caution of things to be aware of. You've seen the diamond, and we saw that with fire as well, a warning about a certain object, and it mightn't always be fire. Sometimes it can just be a chemical warning. And then on the end, you've got the octagon there, and as soon as you see that, you think stop sign straight away, even without color. Okay, and that obviously relates to danger. So I hope this video has given you a good introduction into safety signs and the importance of their color and shape in highlighting to workers in an environment either the hazards that exist within the environment, areas to go to in the events of the emergency, or ways they can protect themselves in the environment. So really the colors and shapes being so important in notifying workers without them having to specifically read in detail what's going on in the environment just through their symbolage, color and shape.